From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Wednesday, June the 21st, 2017. White House Special Advisor Jared Kushner arrived in Israel today for a quick one-day visit. Kushner's first stop was to pay a Shiva call, a condolence call on behalf of the administration, at the home of slain Israeli border police officer Hadass Malka, who was murdered by Palestinian terrorists in a stabbing attack in Jerusalem's Old City on Friday. Kushner was accompanied by the U.S. ambassador to Israel, David Friedman. Later today, the two, joined by U.S. Special Representative for International Negotiations, Jason Greenblatt, met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Jerusalem.
This is an opportunity to pursue our common goals of security, prosperity, and peace. And Jared, I welcome you here in that spirit. I know of your efforts, the President's efforts, and I look forward to working with you to achieve these common goals.
They later met with Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas in Ramallah. Kushner is in Israel as part of an American push to restart peace talks between Israel and the Palestinians. Meanwhile, the mother of one of the Palestinian terrorists involved in the deadly stabbing Friday was arrested for inciting terror. According to the IDF, the woman who was not named was arrested in the West Bank village of Deir Abu Mashal, suspected of praising the terrorists as martyrs and calling for more attacks on Jews. U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley told members of the UN Security Council that it was time to take a harder stance against terror group Hamas and its supporters.
The Security Council must unite to say that enough is enough. We need to pressure Hamas to end its tyranny over the people of Gaza. We should condemn Hamas in this Council's resolutions and statements. We should name Hamas as the group responsible when rockets are fired from Gaza or when fresh tunnels are discovered. And we should designate Hamas as a terrorist organization in a resolution with consequences for anyone who continues to support it.
Haley's remarks follow her visit to Israel earlier this month, where she viewed the threats from Hamas firsthand, including a walk through a terror tunnel built by the terror group. Also yesterday at a briefing at the Council, former UN envoy Lakhdar Brahimi of Algeria blamed Israel for the suffering of the Palestinians and quoted a resident of Gaza whom he said told him that, quote, Israel has put us in a concentration camp, end quote. Israel's ambassador to the United Nations, Danny Danon, sharply condemned Brahimi's remarks. Danon said the Security Council has provided a platform to anti-Semitic comments and a malicious blood libel. He said to accuse the Jewish state of using concentration camps is not only despicable, but it degrades the Security Council and the UN as a whole. Danon said he demands the Security Council renounce Brahimi's statement immediately. Police in Argentina discovered a collection of Nazi artifacts in the home of a private collector. The Associated Press reports that some 75 objects were found earlier this month in a hidden room in the city of Becar, believed to have belonged to high-ranking members of the Third Reich. Police said the discovery was unprecedented and that it could be the largest collection of such items in the country's history. Argentine Security Minister Patricia Bullrich told the AP the pieces appear to be originals, and she said she has asked the judge in the investigation that all objects be donated to the Holocaust Museum of Buenos Aires after the investigation is completed, so that, she said, all Argentinians and also visitors who come to Buenos Aires can see this shocking collection. The objects were reportedly analyzed at Interpol headquarters in France, and the investigation is still ongoing. A Connecticut high school took time out of its graduation ceremony yesterday to pay tribute to a local resident and Holocaust survivor and make him an honorary member of the Avon High School class of 2017. Abby Weiner was a teenager when his family was deported to Auschwitz and never graduated high school. Last night, he received a diploma and a standing ovation in gratitude for the many years he has spent educating students about the Holocaust. An Israeli water technology company is helping residents of Florida have access to clean drinking water. Miami Gardens Mayor Oliver Gilbert III welcomed WaterGen President Yehuda Kaplan in the city this week and announced the launch of a pilot program with WaterGen, whose technology captures humidity to extract drinking water from the air. Many areas in Florida are suffering from severe drought and are facing even more problems with the approach of hurricane season. Kaplan said the Miami Gardens partnership was the company's first significant pilot program in an American city. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Wednesday, June the 21st at 7 o'clock, Yeshiva University's Jeffrey Guruk talks about the Jews of Harlem. At 8, Jewish entertainer Avi Hoffman describes the Dachau album project. At 9 o'clock on L'Chaim, in Part 1, Mark Golub sits down with Avi Goldwasser, who describes how he became committed to fighting anti-Israel BDS forces on college campuses, and how he came to produce the film Hate Spaces, The Politics of Intolerance on Campus. Look for Part 2 tomorrow, Thursday night. At 10 tonight, UN envoy Danny Danon's remarks at Columbia University. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, Thinking Out Loud with Micah Halpern. And that's the JBS News Update for Wednesday, June the 21st, 2017. I'm Teisha Bader.